Hey everybody, it's Mr. Trucks, and I have one last thing I want to dig into before we actually get started with the semester. And that is, over your college career and your professional careers, there are a lot of things that you're going to submit to people in writing, or projects that you're going to turn in, or videos, or whatever it is that you're here to learn how to do. For this class, we're going to be doing written assignments and papers. There's going to be some discussion questions, and there's going to be short answers on the quizzes, and there's going to be other opportunities where your task is to take information, process it, and then give it back to me or your other instructors or your bosses or whoever in a condensed form or a better explained form or a different form. Now, in the old days, what that meant was that you had to go to the library. You had to go find the books, you had to sit down, you had to take notes, you had to write whatever that assignment was, go get it typed, whatever. Obviously, I understand we're not in the old days anymore. You have the ability nowadays to Google just about anything. We provide books for you online. It's easier for you to get to information, but unlike the old days, sometimes it's trickier to realize if you're using somebody else's words or your own words. Unfortunately, I gotta be honest with you, you've got the ability to copy and paste nowadays. And while that can be very tempting, it can also get you into a lot of trouble. Something that we are dealing with as instructors and as students and as education and the workforce and everything else is the rise of what's called artificial intelligence, or AI. You may have seen probably the biggest, most popular platform right now is ChatGPT. Now, I'm not going to be teaching you to use ChatGPT in this course. I know there's some others on campus that are doing that, and I think that's great. It's going to help you in the future. But here is the most important lesson that I can tell you right now about ChatGPT. Use it as a tool. Don't use it as your employee to do the work for you. It's not here to create your work. Just like Google, you can go to Google and type in what is corporate culture, and it's going to give you a lot of responses that you can go through and find that information and process it down into what is corporate culture and give that response back to an instructor. Honestly, it makes it a little easy, but you can also go into ChatGPT and say, what is corporate culture? And it's going to write you a pretty nice paper. The problem is, that's not your work. You're using ChatGPT as an employee instead of a tool. Now, if you take this information that's on the page from ChatGPT and use that as a structure to go figure out what you want to compile and put into your own words, that's great. That's using it as a tool. I'll give you a warning right now. Many of us on this campus and in the education field around the world, and even bosses, are learning very quickly that it is our responsibility to make sure that you do not use artificial intelligence to do the work for you. We have quite a few tools, and to be real honest, I'm going to be using a lot of those tools this semester for every answer you submit. Pretty much any answer that you are writing out a response to, I'm going to put through some form of check to see if it is computer generated, to see if it's plagiarized from someone else. Whether that is your full written assignment, whether that is short answers on a quiz, whether that's responses to a discussion question. So please do not do it. Let me give you one last really big piece of advice, a thing that so many of our students on this campus do not take advantage of that will make your work stand out. We provide to you at no cost the Jefferson College Online Writing Lab, which is abbreviated OWL. Like I said, it is no charge to you. What you do is once you have your draft of your paper done, you go online and submit this to the writing lab. And the writing lab, which are students or instructors or other personnel here at Jeffco, will go through your paper, look at the assignment for what you were supposed to do, and give you feedback and give you help. That will then give you the ability to take your paper and make it even better than your first draft. Very, very few of us submit our first drafts. We go out and get feedback from other people, we get opinions, and then we tighten it up and make it better. But here's the trick. If you're going to do this, you have got to submit your draft to the writing lab with at least 48 hours advance time so that they have time to get it. They could be swamped. They may be backed up. They may not be able to get to it right away. So if you're going to try to turn this paper in to me on Sunday evening, and you decide at 6 o'clock to sit down and start your first draft, you're going to be screwed. Your instinct may be at that point in time, hey, I'm going to go out and copy and paste stuff and drop that in. Or I may go to one of the AI sources and use that. Any of those, you're probably going to get caught. And that's going to mean a whole lot of trouble. Not only failing the assignment, but it could mean disciplinary action. I don't want you to do that. So 2 things. Use the tools that you have available and make sure and get this work done early enough so that you can get help and input from others. Okay, enough of my parental lecture for the day. That's all I wanted to do to wrap this up. Now let's go get started with the course.